Hi everyone, how you all going? These will be my top 10 favourite movies of 2025. 2025 was a stacked year for movies. Some movies did very well at the box office, some movies, underperformed. Some were great, some weren't. It's just my opinion, so if you disagree, please just be respectful. You can let me know in the comments if you disagree. But at number 10, I've got The Smashing Machine. Very big shame this movie underperformed at the box office. The Rock was excellent in this movie. He gave a career-defining performance as Mark Kerr, an MMA fighter who basically the movie tackles his personal dramas and personal conflicts and his relationship with his wife. His partner in the movie, played by Emily Blunt. She was excellent in this movie as well. This movie did underperform, but The Rock's performance was, in my opinion, fantastic. He was unrecognizable in this role. Number 10, I've got The Smashing Machine. Number 9, I've got Thunderbolts, a welcome surprise to the MCU. Thunderbolts underperformed the box office, but I really enjoyed the themes it tackled. Had some solid action as well. I enjoyed the character dynamics. The only thing I will say, I thought Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Valentina Allegra de Fontaine was a bit underwhelming as a main villain, but overall I enjoyed the character dynamics, the themes, such as depression and having to, seeking comfort in others and putting the past behind you and, moving forward. I enjoyed the themes in this movie. The plot, I enjoyed it for the most part. Some solid action. So this was a welcome surprise in the MCU. It is a shame it bombed at the box office. At number 8, I've got Jurassic World Rebirth. I know, controversial choice. I enjoyed this movie, actually. Look, I know they're making a sequel. I wish they wouldn't, because I feel it's going to go down the same trajectory as Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, which were both pretty crap. But this movie has a whole new cast compared to, or a completely different cast to the 2015 movie and also Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. In this movie, they go, basically, Scarlett Johansson plays a mercenary, and she's tasked with extracting 3 blood samples so that a cure for heart disease can be created. This movie had some very cool set pieces, like on the boat when the crew come under attack from the Mosasaurus and also the Spinosaurus as well. The scene in the cave, with the Quetzalcoatlus. I really enjoyed the scene as well when Zora and everyone else find the Titanosaurus, and they look at the Titanosaurus in complete awe and wonder at how huge they are. But yeah, this movie had some very good use of John Williams' iconic score as well. I thought it was pretty well directed for the most part. Some cringe-worthy humour moments, which I didn't really enjoy, which I didn't really care for that much. And some of the secondary characters I thought were very forgettable, who I didn't really care about them too much. But overall, this was a welcome surprise in the Jurassic World era of movies. Not as good as the 2015 movie, but a huge improvement to Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. Number 7, I've got 28 Years Later. I know some people didn't like this movie. I, for one, loved it. I thought it was very powerful. I thought the action was pretty good. A couple of questionable editing choices, like with the kills, like when they fire a bow and then the camera pauses and it turns into a different direction and then it continues the shot. So yeah, some questionable editing choices, but overall I enjoyed this movie a lot. It was powerful. I was very immersed in the world. The ending was a bit strange. It sets up the sequel, 28 years later, The Bone Temple, which is coming out in January, actually. But I thought Aaron Taylor-Johnson in this movie was great. Ralph Fiennes was fantastic. So at number 7, I've got 28 Years Later, and it was really cool to have, Danny Boyle and Alex Garland collaborate once again after 28 Days Later, which came out in 2002. Number 6, Fantastic Four First Steps. And I'll be honest, this movie was a bit of a slow burn, but I actually really enjoyed it. The visual effects were stunning. The movie was pretty powerful as well at times. I enjoyed the whole plot line of Galactus wanting Reed Richards and Sue Storm's unborn child. The third act was pretty wild. Probably maybe one stupid scene in which Johnny Storm reminds Shia LaBeouf of what she's doing, and then she decides to turn back, because he basically in the movie he tells her that she's helping Galactus massacre innocent people by targeting planets, but then essentially she already knows that, and then by him reminding her and then her fleeing, I thought that was a little bit stupid. But overall, I enjoy the character dynamics in this movie, the chemistry between the characters, the action scenes, especially in the third act, were pretty cool. The visuals were stunning. Galactus was very menacing, I personally found, a lot more so than he was in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer from 2007. Um, yes, a slow burn at times, but I, for one, actually really enjoyed this movie. And Pedro Pascal, he may have been a little bit miscast as Reed Richards, but I still think he did a fantastic job. Number 5, Predator Badlands. I know some people didn't like this movie. I, for one, loved it. Powerful. Opening scene, I was drawn straight away. Emotional as well. Elle Fanning, people thought she was annoying. I actually thought she played the part very well, because in the movie she is a synthetic. I thought she played the part of a Weyland-Yutani synthetic very well. I thought she was very believable. The movie had some heart, some good fight scenes. Quite a bit of CGI here and there, but overall it didn't feel like there was an overabundance of CGI. This movie did flop, however, okay? It is the highest grossing movie in the Predator franchise. That being said, it cost $105 million to make, only made $183 million worldwide. So yes, it was a flop, which is a shame because I think Dan Trachtenberg has done a fantastic job in this franchise. I also love Prey from 2022. I didn't mind Killer of Killers. I thought it was okay. Predator Badlands, for me personally, was fantastic. And also thought Prey was fantastic as well, actually. Killer of Killers was okay as well, but Prey and Badlands are actually my two favourite movies in the Predator franchise. I know, very controversial opinion. Number 4, Ballerina. This movie really delivered. Now, it was a bit stupid in the sense that Ana de Armas is not a huge person, and she's basically beating up guys twice her size, but the action, the fight choreography, the fight scenes, the shootouts, all fantastic. Some incredible cinematography as well in the snow, I thought. I thought the cinematography in the snow was great. Good score as well. It was great to see Keanu Reeves once again as John Wick. I will say, I don't think it's the best movie in the John Wick franchise, but for me, this movie really delivered in terms of action, spectacle. The grenade sequence was fantastic. The grenade sequence, I enjoyed the flamethrower fight as well. I wish that villain, I think his name was I can't actually remember his name. I think it might have been Dex. I wish his death was a bit more satisfying. Well, the guy that she fights in the third act, the flamethrower, I wish his death would have been a bit more satisfying. But overall, Ballerina is at number 4. Number 3, got F1 the movie. Really enjoyed this movie. The sound, the cinematography, the racing scenes, all top notch. Plot was nothing special. You've seen it before. Had some tropes from other previous movies that have come out before. This racer, Sonny Hayes, suffered a serious, accident. He left the limelight, and then eventually he comes back and he trains another rookie. It's sort of been done before, but I thought Brad Pitt in this movie was fantastic. Some great performances, great racing scenes, fantastic sound. I was very immersed. So yeah, number 3, F1 the movie. Number 2, I've got Superman. I know some people didn't like Superman as well. I thought Superman was fantastic. Not as emotional as Man of Steel, but the fight scenes, especially in the third act, the fight sequences, the visuals, I thought were fantastic. I enjoyed David Corenswet as Clark Kent, so yeah, Superman. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, I thought she was alright as well. At times a little bit cold, but overall she grew on me towards the end. So I did like her. I must say, though, I'm not very excited for Supergirl. I think Supergirl looks a little bit lame, if I'm being honest. But I thought Superman 2025 was, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was actually fantastic. It would have been cool to see Superman save the day in Jaranpur. But overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was actually a very, very thrilling theatrical experience. Number 1, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. I know, another controversial choice. The stunts in this movie, the underwater sequence, and especially even more so the biplane sequence, were absolutely fantastic. This movie was an incredible conclusion to the Mission Impossible franchise. I enjoyed the return of Rolf Saxon as William Donlow. Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt once again absolutely killed it. There is a goofy death with the main villain Gabriel, but I still found it amusing. But yeah, excellent cinematography, incredible stunts, action sequences, great score as well by Max Arouge, Alfie Godfrey, who took over from Lauren Balfe. I do think the first hour could have been improved a little bit, but overall, my number 1 favourite movie of 2025 was Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, even though the first hour, I definitely believe, could have been trimmed down and actually improved a little bit. But there you go, guys. They're my top 10 favourite movies of 2025. If you agree, disagree with some, let me know in the comments. That's fine. Just be respectful. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.